Hello, Creative Cooks. Welcome back to another episode of the Creative Phoebe Cooks channel. I'm your host, Phoebe, and I hope you're doing cozy and warm during this wonderful winter season. Today, we'll be making my secret recipe to a tasty and flavorful vegetable stock you can use to make your favorite soups, stews, or whatever recipes you have that call for vegetable stock. We'll make quite a good amount that will last us a few weeks, and with that we need a few tips and tricks to make sure that our vegetable stock lasts long and fresh. Later on I'll share with you a simple and low effort way that you can serve this vegetable stock to enjoy on a nice cool day. And with that, let's start cooking in voiceover mode. As you may imagine, to make this vegetable stock we'll need quite a good amount of vegetable scraps. The fresher, the better. So whenever you're done cooking, let's say you made it like a lot of roasted vegetables, make sure to keep the ends and the stems and the tops of onions, beets, asparagus, garlic, ginger, grapes, you name it. Store all that in a bag and keep them in the freezer. That way over time you can store them, and when you have a good amount like this, which is about a kilo that I have here, you can use it to make some vegetable stock. Let's set it aside. We put it in the stock pot, which we're going to use is clean and oil free. And we're going to flavor our vegetable stock with some fresh aromatics like garlic, onions, ginger, and lemon, as you saw. We're going to slice this up to expose their flesh to make sure that all of their nutrients and their flavor are released into the boiling liquid that we'll be making in a few. So let's chop all these up and add them to the stock pot, and we'll get to the next step. Adding ginger to our vegetable stock will add a good amount of natural spice to our stock. You may also add in chilies. I'll be adding in a habanero pepper for extra spice, but if you don't want it that spicy, you can skip that part. Skip the habanero pepper part. Next, we'll be adding the lemon rind, which will really add a nice flavor to the stock. The fresher the lemon, the better. You can also use lime. So either of these citrus fruits will work. And we'll save the lemon for later because we're going to extract the juice and flavor our strained vegetable stock. I've halved my habanero pepper to add a lot more spice to the stock, but if you do not want that much spice, keep the pepper whole. Here we have a tablespoon and a half of coarse sea salt and a tablespoon of ground black pepper together with 2 liters of water. It may be filtered, it may be spring, it may be tap water, it doesn't matter because we're going to boil this, and I think it works. But whatever works for you, truly. We're going to turn the heat on high so that this goodness can come to a boil. During that time, we'll use a wooden spoon to submerge the vegetable scraps into the stock, kind of see what's going on in this pot of goodness. I'll ask, have you made your own vegetable stock before? If not, I really hope you get to give this recipe a try. I think it's absolutely amazing. It's fresh, it's clean, you know exactly what's going in the vegetable stock. So let me know in the comments below if you tried, and if you've made yours before, how did you make it? We'll all love to know. Now lower your heat down to low, between low and medium, and allow this to continue simmering for about 40 minutes. The entire boiling / simmering process should take about an hour. Let's check it out, see how it's doing. By this time, most of this, literally all of the vegetable scraps have wilted, and I think it's about time for us to turn it off and allow the pot and the contents to cool for about 2 hours, because you want to make sure while you're handling this that it's safe for you to handle, especially if you're using a nut milk bag to strain this, which is the next step that we're working on right now. Here I'm boiling some water to sterilize my nut milk bag, which you can use to also strain some nut milk. I have 2 recipes in the description box below for cashew milk and almond milk, and a third one for coconut milk. So be sure to check them out. Alright, after sterilizing our nut milk bag in some boiling water, allow it to just rest and chill while our vegetable stock is cooling down. Also, if you do not want to use a nut milk bag, oh, by the way, check out this color. Isn't it so gorgeous? It's purple due to the beet tops and bottoms that I added to our vegetable scraps, which tells you that depending on the color of your vegetables, that will determine the color of your vegetable stock. Alright, so let's strain all of this vegetable stock goodness. I'm going to use in a nut milk bag. If you use a strainer, I think it's going to work great. I also would like to think that a juicer would also be a great method to extract as much liquid out of these vegetables. So if that's something you use, please leave that in the comments below. It would be a great way to know everyone's experience on making this amazing ingredient, product, you name it. And also know that not only can you use this in your soups and stews, you can also drink it as is. I mean, you can drink it hot or cold, just as people drink bone broth, hot or cold, whichever you prefer. And once you're done straining your vegetable stock, we're a few steps away from this process being done. And a great way to use the vegetable scrap residue is to add it to your compost, which will break down. You can add it to your garden. It's a nice natural fertilizer. It's sustainable. It's environmentally friendly. Mother Nature loves it. You gotta try it out. Let's flavor our vegetable stock with the juice of that lemon that we removed the line from earlier on in this video. And y'all, this is it. Let's give this stock a try. Of course, like stir it up to infuse the flavor of the lemon juice and give it a taste. I definitely suggest do not add more seasoning to this, because if you're going to add this to your recipes, you want to make sure that you do not over salt it or over season it. That way the end product of that recipe is not too salty and you actually love it and want to eat from it. Now let's store our vegetable stock in glass mason jars, and I'll show you what to do if you're storing this in the freezer. Don't fill it up to the top. I'd say fill it up 3/4 of the way, like this. That way, when you place this in the freezer and the liquid expands, it has room for the liquid to expand without breaking your glass jar, and you won't be losing some really delicious vegetable stock. Okay, we're gonna close this up because we're gonna store this in the fridge and freezer, and in a few minutes from now I'll be showing you a very simple, earthy, low effort way to serve the vegetable stock on a cold winter day, or let's say you do not have much time to make an elaborate meal. I think this will help solve that issue. Also, I'm not a doctor, but I would think that if you're encountering some cold or sinus issue, that this vegetable stock may help alleviate that, because it's infused with ginger, lemon, all those fresh vegetables, all of that. I think that would definitely work out in your favor. Alright, after plucking parsley leaves and set on the side, and yes, I'll be adding the parsley stems to my next batch of vegetable stock. So it's all about sustainability over here. Okay, and then we are going to slice up the greens of a green onion, because I want this broth to be extremely bright, fresh for this amazing cool afternoon I have going on over here. So we're going to make good use of our vegetable stock from the smallest container, and we're just going to warm this up. We've already done the cooking, the boiling, and all that. I don't want this. I just want the nutrients that are in it to stay in it. I don't want it to boil away. This is just me thinking. You probably think the same thing. Let me know in the comments below. We're just going to warm this up. It shouldn't take more than 5 minutes. And flavor it with spring onions as well as the parsley leaves. You don't want these to get too wilted. You want to taste the freshness of these herbs. Turn it off. After you notice it boiling and set it aside, we're going to prepare some rice noodles, because I subscribe to a gluten-free diet. If you've not noticed already in the last few recipes, I think you are going to love this, especially if you're gluten-free and vegan. Of course, I eat shrimps and fish, but if you're gluten-free, you can count me in. Alright. After soaking it in the boiling water for about 2 minutes, that's what the packaging instruction says. If yours is different, just do as it says. Let's set it aside to drain all the excess water because we do not want to spoil our hard work with bland water. Add that rice noodle to your favorite bowl. Pour over that nice steaming stock we got over here. And creative cooks, it is time to feast. If you watched this far, I really appreciate you. I really, really do. Yes, you may share this recipe with a loved one. I know they would love to make their own vegetable stock if they haven't already. Check out my blog for extra notes to make this recipe the best way that you can make it. Be sure to like and subscribe. It will mean the world to me. And with that, be culinary curious. Chat with you in the next episode. And take care of your healthy selves. Goodbye!